Hey everybody, what's happening? Looks like it's just me. So I don't know if y'all been wondering what the shorts have been about here lately. The past 5 shorts we did, I'm creating a concept. I put it out there for you guys to decide who they were. I know who they were because I did them. They're right back here. You can't see them yet. They're behind me. But I wanted to see if you guys could guess which anime I was doing. I did talk about this a while ago. I finally just got down to doing it. So today's going to be the big reveal, and I thought at the same time what we'd do is we'd go through and show you some of our past paintings, which are over here as you can see them, and we'll look at them and we'll talk about them, see what you guys think, and things like that. One second. There we go. I'm back. Hey Trent, how we doing? Big Blue, Aubrey, Bob, how we doing, guys? I had to go get my phone. I done forgot it. So what I was talking about earlier is this week, as you guys seen, if you watch our shorts or keep up with us, we have I did hey Aubrey K101, nice to see you. Thanks for coming. I did 5 shorts, and what these paintings represent were anime characters. And what I'm going to do is put them together in one sort of say collage. Hi Aria, how are you doing? Can you say I like potatoes? I do like potatoes, and I can say it. You're welcome. Do you like potatoes? But my last 5 shorts this week, well, I did them yesterday and today, was for an anime. It's a little bit of an older anime. I call them cartoon slash animes. Well, good. I'm glad you like potatoes. I'm sure Trent likes potatoes too. So what I did is I put out the 5 shorts. I did the paintings. I didn't tell you who it was going to be. I just wanted you guys to guess. I got guesses from the Power Rangers, Cartoon Express, JoJo. Uh, can you make a potato short? Like cut the potato, like make it small? I mean, what do you mean by potato? But I did the paintings, and I got an array of guesses from Demon Slayer because, as you know, I'm a huge Demon Slayer fan. There's I got posters here and My Hero Academia and Black Clover. They're all over, and got a Naruto one back there. Tons of guesses. However, this anime is a little more older. As my age, I'm not very young, not very old, but I'm in the middle. So what I did is I put them out there to see if people could guess who they were. There are some people who do know what they are, and I told them not to say what it was going to be. But I want to give the big reveal today. So, have you guys seen the shorts? The 5 shorts I made. There was one with silver, black, and purple. One with green and red, green and blue, green and purple, and green and orange. I think I saw Aria. I think she was on there because I think she commented on one for sure. So do you guys have any guesses who they are? I can tell you the anime slash cartoon premiered before 1990. Yep, Bob, he's actually the green and orange is probably one of the most highly recognized of all of them. Voltron, well, that was another guess I got. And I actually told the guy, I said, that sounds like a good challenge to actually make a Voltron piece. But no, it wasn't Voltron. Thank you, Ari. I appreciate it. But what I also did too is why we give people time to come in is I got some paintings here. These are ones that we've done or we've spun. Some are short, some some we've shown off, some we haven't. Just different ways. And the neat thing about this art is if you turn it this way, you can kind of see like a bird flying. It's like if you're looking at the bottom side of the bird. Hi, Hannah. But when you turn it this way, it looks like something totally different. That's the neat stuff about this, what they call abstract art. And really, when it comes to colors, I made this one kind of like a joke to see what kind of colors would kind of look bad with each other. And even though I thought like in my head that these colors don't match, it turned out beautiful. This looks like a little, oh, there we go, like a little praying mantis if you look at them. It's just really neat, the stuff that you can kind of see and look at it. And of course, that one's got sparkles on it. Thank you, Bob. And we got this one. That bronze, for some reason, I really like that bronze. The bronze is this color here. For some reason, it really just seems to, if you look at it, it gets in the grooves of the painting of the canvas, and it really pops it. And sometimes you think minimalist, think 2 colors. Well, what are 2 colors going to do? I mean, they're going to just mix together. But look at this one. This one's white and silver. Look at that. Like, you don't even understand. Like, you just think it just becomes some kind of gray. But no, it really turns into a life of its own. Even with just 2 colors. And of course, the sparkles really help. That young Dylan over there showing me a shoe. You gonna come say hi, Dylan? Oh, I guess you can't find the shoes. Hey, Fungo, what's happening? See, here's another one. This one's got gold, pink, and black. And like I said, you can turn them around, and they just look so much different. Then we got this one here. This one's red, pink, and white. It just kind of looks like the white looks like lightning going through the clouds. And it kind of looks like a face over here. If you see this right here, it looks like a face. You turn it like this, it looks kind of like a sideways face. It's really interesting when people actually stop and look at it and they try to see stuff. The amount of stuff people see it varies between everybody, and you can have 1 or 2, 3 things, and then all of a sudden 5 more things come up, and then you can sort of see them. It's kind of like looking at clouds, and you look at the cloud and say, hey, that cloud looks like an elephant. Another guy say, hey, it might look like a rhino. I don't know. Yeah, it is, Bob. I had a lot of people coming in right now asking for the Valentine's colors, but once you get past red, pink, and white and yellow, you kind of hit them all. This one's the old red, white, and blue with the sparkles. Spider-Man, USA. You can call it all sorts of things. And Mama Fam had to take Aiden to work. She said she'd join us for a little bit once she got back. But you can see this white. This white really pops with the cells. I love the white. Those cells are popped. They just look beautiful. Yeah, Thor. See, here's another silver, black, and white. See, this one looks nothing at all. It's the same colors as that first one we saw, but it looks nothing at all like it. Nothing at all. You know, that's why these things, when people say, oh, you copied it. When it comes to this art, you can't copy. I mean, it comes down to the drill and what it wants to do. When you put it on the drill, I can, about the only thing that I have in these paintings is the colors. I can say I want this color, and there is a sort of say rhyme and rhythm to it and how you put your colors on and what you use. And some colors like green, black really overtakes a lot, so you don't want to use a lot of black. And the dark green in the turtles, you'll see over here too. Oh. You'll see back here in that dark green color, as it dries, it sort of overtakes colors. And you come to find out purple's one that likes to integrate with other colors. I don't know what it is with purple. When it's wet, it's beautiful, but when it dries, it kind of dulls, and it doesn't go away, but it's harder to see. But like I said, when you look at this one, no, I don't know right now. I don't see it. But then you'll get some colors that mix beautiful. I mean, look at this one. This one's blue, green, and white. Hey, what's up, Pop House? Yeah, and then just depending on how you look at it or the way you turn it, it just shades different. It looks different. These three colors are about my favorite right here. The hardest color to work with, Trent, I would say I'm probably going to have to say any black light color and purple. Purple seems to be the one that gets me the most because of the way it dries. But the black light colors, when they dry, they sometimes become non-existent. Like you can't see them. As soon as you hit it with a black light, they pop out like crazy. But it almost seems like it dries clearer than the color you put on. So when the black light hits it, it's something to do with the reflective of it. But the black lights are definitely kind of hard to do. I did one actually for Reef that was amazing. I think it was one of his. Remember that chase one I did for Reef? That was probably one of the best ones that I've seen done, or that I've done, because for some reason with the cream color they came out beautiful. This one here reminds me of watermelon. I don't know what it is about pink, green, and white, but it reminds me every time I see it. Hey, that looks like a watermelon to me. I should have just added some black seeds in that and called it a day. I'll tell you two colors that are hard to play with. That's blue and yellow. And being from Michigan, Michigan is, we're blue and yellow. That's what Michigan is. The thing is when you go to spin blue and yellow, it turns green. I mean, in almost an instant. So like if you guys watched the video I did a while ago, I only spun it for like a second, because as soon as that yellow starts to pull out to the blue, it just turns green. And I'm like, okay, so now I've got this painting. I kid you not, I'm like, okay, there's a Michigan painting. And I finished it and it dried, and I go, that's a Michigan State painting. It's white or it's green. I'm like, they're not going to want this for Michigan. And there was one I actually did. It's right over here. I'll show you. Hold on. I'll be able to show you what I mean by how the blue and yellow mix really good. So this is a paint. Hey, Mama Fam. I brought you a seat over. You can stop and say hi. Hi. So this one, it's a dual painting. I'm just going to show part of it now. As you can see, it's blue or green and white for Michigan State. And I figured, what kind of Michigan fan would like a portrait with both teams on it? Because I can tell you some houses are split. And when they play, if Michigan wins, you can turn it up, put Michigan on top. If Michigan loses, you can put them on the bottom. So I made a split painting. And this is what it did. You see how, actually on this camera it doesn't look so bad, but as it goes out farther and tries to mix, it just turns green. In the middle, where there's less mixing and turning and moving, it's pretty blue. But as you get up to the edges, it just looks green. But that's what I figure. If you know they played Michigan one, you put Michigan on top. Oh, Michigan State one, you can flip it up, put Michigan on top. It's a way to keep all the parts of the family happy. And you got this one. This one's blue and green. Actually, blue really shows up good on the camera, different than in real life here. But the sheens on them, the way that the paint is and the acrylic, the way the acrylic works, the sheens are just amazing. And here you go. This one's all greens. It's different shades of green. This one's got a dark green, a regular green, and like a, if you look down over here, like a lighter green. This one's your more camo colors. So you got your browns, your greens, and your grays. For some reason, I like brown. Not many people like brown, and brown doesn't play well good in the pool. But brown really makes it has its distinct outlines. I mean, if you look at the brown, you can really see a good distinct outline with the brown, and the paints do mix with it pretty decent. But brown is brown. I mean, you put a lot of brown on the canvas, and a lot of brown's going to take over. This one was a black, gold, and silver. That gold is just like that bronze. It's metallic. So it really likes to pop in the light. I never take over. We know you and talking. Come on. Yeah, see, Bob, I mean, everybody sees something totally different. I mean, it is. It's really it's kind of special, you know, and the fun part about it is once I start spinning, I have no control of what it looks like. All I do is I control how many times it turns. I can stop turning it. And there's a fun myth if you turn the drill and go, and if you're going forward and then you put it in reverse and you go backwards, hey Tat, how we doing? It'll change the way that it looks. It don't. It looks the same. You spin it one way and you turn it the other way, and it looks the same. Now this one here, this was a different type of spin art. This one kind of reminds me of the days when we were kids. You know, you get that little machine at the fair and you're like, oh, you get a paper plate and you put on it and you get to drop the colors as the plate's turning. This one is what happens when you do spin out as it's spinning. So when I put the paint on it as it's actually turning. Can you see the difference? So this one is still spin art. However, when you spin it this way, or when you're doing it this way, as it's turning, you put the paint on it. So it gives more of a mathematical sort of equation of how the paint goes, because it goes on how it's turning. Where this one, as you'll be able to see the difference, that one over here is I put all the paint on together and I put it together, and then I spin it. See, there's no patterns with it. It is what it is. And these ones are like circle patterns, because as I drop the paint and that's turning, it hits and then makes a circle, because it rotates in a circle. Both have their own unique things. Like this one, this one here. You can say that's an eyeball because it kind of looks like an eyeball. I mean, it's all crazy. If you guys have any questions at any time, just go ahead and ask. It doesn't matter what it is. If I got new videos or what I'm working on or what we're doing, I'm just giving a little bit of time for people to come in so I can show you the project that we're working on. Yeah, exactly, Trent. Exactly. See, and this one is another kind of Michigan State painting, green and white. I like the contrast of the green and white. But this one just has more white, you know. I put more white on it than I did green. See, this kind of looks like a talon, you know, and then coming from a leg. And then when you turn it sideways, it kind of looks like the old it looks like he's laying sideways. One of those old guys who used to take around and had the big beak on, and you know, they filled it full of roses and stuff because they said it was an air filter. This one's another example of spin art as it's spinning. You know, I pour it on as it's spinning. I do like them. I can tell you they're a lot messier as it's spinning, and I pour it on here, and I can't pour it on like this as it's spinning. So I have to tilt it before I can pour my paint on it. And when I pour my paint on it as it's spinning, you can only imagine where the paint goes. It goes over here. This is another one. This one was purple, pink, and white. And if you turn it this way, I kind of see like a little angel right here. There's a wing. You guys see that? Along with the head. Or if you turn it this way, it kind of looks like a bird flying in the air. No, you're looking at it from the top down, and here's its wing. So like I said, this art, everybody kind of says, you know, online and as you do things like, oh, you need no talent. There is a talent to it. I will say it 100%. It is a talent. But at the end of it, it's abstract. It comes out and does what it wants. Now, these ones are some of my favorite colors. I like black and teal. So this one's black, teal, and white. See, the one thing you got to remember too is when you're spinning, a lot of this art's done with centrifugal force. If you, I mean, you're taking it back to the old school lessons, where you put the center of the drill where it spins, you're going to have the less movement of paint because that's actually where the slowest. It's the slowest. As it goes out, it gets faster. Think of like a fan. If you turn a fan, the center of the fan is actually moving slower than the end of your blade. So as it turns, you've got faster speeds out at your ends than you do in the center. So when it comes to the center of the painting, you really got to make sure your paint's covered there in the center, because if you don't, it'll leave a hole because it's not spreading there, it's just turning. This one's another pretty one. This one's black, pink, and white. Another one of my favorite colors is lavender. I'm not a lavender guy. I don't like the smell of it. The lavender bushes, I think they get overgrown. But I love the color. It's that purple. It's that white purple, and it just sings with colors. Well, if you let the paint go to the middle while you're spinning it. Well, as you're spinning it, it can't go to the middle because centrifugal force is going to pull it away. So what you have to do before you spin it is once you get your paint on here and you get it mixed, you need to shake your painting around. You need to work all the colors in. You'll see, like on my shorts, I don't show you that part of it because sometimes, depending on how much paint's on there and things like that and how it moves, it takes time sometimes to get it to where you want it. So you'll see a lot of these. There was a good example back here. These ones. As you see this gold one, you see how these paint lines here in the middle are really tight and close together. So what happens when I go to shake and move it, these colors they'll start to drip down. And what I'll do is I'll turn it, it'll start to drip again, and I'll turn it, and so I can turn it on itself. So you'll get like a U shape of the colors shifting together. It's something that does take time, and it doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, because at the end of the day, when you go to spin it, it's going to do what it wants. If there's like a thicker layer of paint under it, it could shift it right off the whole canvas. You don't know. You don't know until you spin it. And here's these greens and blacks again. Hi, Sniper Cat. What's happening? Then, if you guys notice, a lot of things that I do, we talk about Funko Pops and we do things like that. I'm a huge anime fan, so I actually do some anime paintings as well. Over here, 1 second, I'll go get this one here. I don't know if you guys watch My Hero Academia very often, but who do you think this one is? This one I actually did after My Hero Academia. Like that. I know Animal knows. Trent probably knows too. This one I did after Todoroki because he's fire and ice. Here's another one. This one's yellow, red, and pink. But I also took gold and I put like gold stars on. I splattered it with gold paint. Do you watch that area? This one right here is going to be a good example of what I talk about when it comes to the fluorescent paint, not fluorescent, yeah, the fluorescent paints, how they kind of disappear. This one was blue and fluorescent pink. You see how it disappears? How it just kind of looks like a shadow. You see that? But now watch this. Ouch. That was a leg. But see, as I said, there, it shadows, but you hit it with this black light. Look at it. It pops right out. That's why I said sometimes working with these fluorescent paints are kind of pain. Yeah, see, when you look at it, it looks just kind of blue. But once you put that black light on it, it makes a huge difference. This one here is kind of a Halloween theme. The Halloween colors, sort of say. Yeah, see, this one, I like these colors together. I'm a huge Halloween fan. Purples, browns, you know, kind of the fall time. They're my favorite colors. And this one you see a dog, or this way? Yeah, see this one, it kind of looks like, to me, like here's a dragon head and he's breathing fire. I see that. That's kind of my take. And here's another one of the fluorescents. This one you can see it a little better. But once you hit it with a fluorescent light, black light, it really pops it out. You see that? So the fluorescent colors, like I said, visibly when you look at them, you just kind of go, eh. That's what I do. I'm like, meh. Especially when they mix with a darker color. I did one. I wish Reef was here and I could get him on to show it. I did it with light colors, a cream and things like that. Oh boy, they didn't disappear. They looked great. And then you hit it with a black light and it blew up even harder. Here's another one of my favorite colors. Something about that orange. I like that orange. See, this one kind of to me looks like the swamp thing. You guys remember back that old movie, The Swamp Thing? You got one eyeball, another eyeball, and here's his mouth. I don't know. It's just kind of neat to sit back and look at them and see what kind of things you can find. Or here it kind of looks like Goku screaming, "Oh!" when he's powering up. And this is purple and white. It looks blue, but it's purple, I promise you. You can kind of see it over here. See, this to me looks like rough water. See, and this is a good example of how black takes over. This is pink, blue, and black. You can actually see the blue pretty good through this light. But if you look at it here, I don't see any blue. It don't look blue at all. If I put it in light, I can faintly see it. But when I put it up here, actually, I think that's purple. That's purple. That's how the black and the purple interact with each other. They don't like each other. So what I try to do when I put those two colors together is I like to put a lavender or another color that's the same, I guess, color but different shade. And that really kind of helps hide it from the black a little better. It sure can, Bob. That's for sure. And the thing is, too, a lot of times when you see it wet, all the colors are so vibrant. They're separated beautiful. But once it dries, it sometimes dries and you look at it and go, I didn't know I used just yellow or I used just orange. I mean, sometimes when it dries, it really does change. Like here's another example of black. Black, blue, and red. Like I said, in this light, you can actually see the blue. For some reason, this camera picks up well. But when you look at it straight, there's no blue to that at all. But this one looks like two dragons fighting. You got one dragon here facing down, and then the other one's over here attacking it. Or it looks like maybe this could be a hand coming down on a table. And this one's got blue in it. It's blue, green, and black. I really do like how this camera does show the details, though. Pretty surprising. Then you just get to your fun colors. Look at this. Look how fun that is. That's yellow, blue, and white and black. That to me just looks like kind of like lightning or thunder, and I don't know, it's just electrifying. Now for the fun part, guys. I only wanted to come on for a little while tonight, so because I wanted to show the big reveal. Okay, so let's see if you guys can guess it from this first one. Actually, let me get something a little different. Let's do this one. Okay, so now to get back to what I did 5 portraits, and what I plan on doing is I plan on putting them together as one collage. So it's going to be 5 portraits put together for one piece, sort of say. So as it was yesterday, yesterday, I posted this one that is purple, black, and silver. I got another one hiding it because I haven't revealed it yet. So now, after I reveal it, you guys should know who it is. Look at this. Who do you guys think that is? That's purple, black, and silver. Any guesses? Who do you think that was, Bob? I know you know, Trent. And after I show this next one, I'll definitely know you'll know. Actually, I'll do it in the order that we did them. Yes, it was, Bob. So now we've got purple and green. And who is purple and green? Donatello. Then we had red and white. I'm sorry, red and green, which is Raphael. Then the next one I did was blue and green, which is Leonardo. Then the last one, and mostly everybody's favorite, Mr. Pizza Man, Michelangelo. So those were the 5 mystery paintings that I did. I didn't show you guys that I applied the decals. I apply the decals as they're wet. They seem to stick better that way. But what I plan on doing is I plan on making a collage. I'm going to make a 5 collage, and I think what I'm going to do, because I haven't figured this out yet, and I was going to ask you guys what you thought. Do I want to do, I think what I'm going to do is this here. I don't have very many hands, but I'm going to have all 5 of them together like this. And it's going to be one piece, because you really can't have one turtle without the other turtles. It has a goat named what? Michelangelo? Or Donatello? Or is it named Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? I remember as I was a kid, I watched them. Splinter, you know, it's not that I'm not a Splinter fan. He dies, you know. He gets in one fight and then he dies. Shredder kills him. And then it becomes about the Turtles and Shredder. And to put those two together in the middle and the Turtles, it's kind of an injustice for the Turtles, because Splinter doesn't really fight Shredder. It's the Turtles. So I didn't really, you know, and then April O'Neil, She don't do no fighting. She just kind of runs around and gets the turtles in trouble. Casey Jones, he might be a little different. He was a fighter, but he's not a turtle. He'd be about the same colors as Shredder. So to me, the biggest Fab Five out of those guys is the Turtles and Shredder. He's the master. He's their dad. How often do you hear about the dad? Who was Caesar's dad? I don't know who was Caesar's dad, but I know who Caesar was. Or Obama. Who was Obama's dad? I don't know. I know who Obama was. You don't hear about the dads. Come on. We're just the unsung heroes in the background. But yeah, it's just I like those five. Those five to me, they sell the franchise. I don't think they come to see Splinter. They came to see the Turtles. I haven't watched. If you talk about the movie, I have, but I know they've got some new anime cartoons or whatever you want to call them out too. I haven't seen those yet. Well, I do know Tanjiro's dad. I do. But I have never seen him fight. He's dead, right? I'm just saying, no matter which way you look at it. I think Michelangelo's because I don't know, I'm kind of a fun guy. I like the happy aspect, and he's always playing around and stuff. He does what he has to do, but he likes to play around a lot. Kind of reminds me of Big Blue. Big Blue there's always playing around. So do you guys have any questions for me about what we do or how I do it or anything like that? And this is just one live I wanted to do. I actually moved. If you've been to one of my lives before, you can see how it's changed. I move stuff around, but I plan on doing more lives and spinning paint. But I can do that on my phone. This is actually on the computer. So it'll actually still allow me, because here in Michigan, it's cold and I can't be outside in the wintertime because, paint freezes and I freeze too. So I built a studio actually behind this wall here. There's a studio back there that I actually spin in. And it's got it all, it's got its own setup for me spinning and stuff like that. But I plan on doing that too. The biggest spin out I've done, I think the biggest one that I've turned is I actually did a video on it. It was 24 by 12. So it come out 2 foot by 2 foot. But I made two paintings as one because they're, I don't know if a lot of you guys see these new paintings, you'll see like I like this one over here. I'll show you in a second. These ones I call like a progression of color. I like them. I don't know why. I just do. I see different things in them and how it comes out and moves and shifts. So it starts here. This is your first progression right here. As it moves through, let me turn this around this way. As it moves through, you'll see it turns into those colors. You see how the progression of the colors turn? Then this one comes out of it. So if you look at the first one, I'll show you kind of my thinking behind it. If you look at the first one, which is this one, it starts out blue, purple, white, and then starts to go shade over to the black, the blues, the pinks. And then as it transitions from here to here, it comes into this. So it's kind of, the way that I look at it is it's kind of like the layers of colors. Your first layer start here. If you peel off the top layer there, this is what you'd be left with. And then if you peel off those top layers, because you see how the pink and whites are behind the blues and the blacks, then you end up here. So I was just going through all of our paintings that we've done because we have so many. We have so many. And I was telling my wife that I want to put these together as a progression painting. So they'll go up all three together, and it'll, like I said, it'll show just kind of like that's the way that I see it. doesn't mean that I'm right. And actually, I had that backwards. This one goes first. It doesn't mean that I'm right and my word's the law. It's just the way that it is. It's just as you peel, like Shrek would say, you peel off the layers of the onions. It's what you're left with at the bottom. That's my take on it. So yeah, so I got my turtle paintings. I showed everybody my turtle paintings. Now I can put out there that the turtle paintings. It makes me happy. I tell you, it's been killing me to not have them show them. I wonder if you showed mine yet. Do you remember what colors you were, Shirley? And Ant-Man would be kind of cool, but I don't know how to. I mean, his colors are easy, but how would I represent it being Ant-Man, whether he was big or small? That would be the hard part. Cyan, silver, and gold. Well, I can tell you. Let me show you. Look at this. I think I got reach room here. This is where all of our paintings are now, besides my garage. So you can see there's a lot of paintings there. So as to pick out your specific one, that could be kind of tough. But if I could find the colors, what colors did you say it was? Cyan, silver, and gold. Yeah, I'm not seeing it right offhand, but I can look for it, that's for sure. And this one here, this is a different technique. As the ones we've been seeing, I spin on a drill. This one is what they call a poured painting, or they've called it Dutch pour. They call it all sorts of different things. Do you see how it looks different? See, when you look at something like this, and you look at something like this, they're totally different. No matter how you look at it, how you spin it, these are not the same. And a lot of people confuse pouring with spinning and spinning with pouring. And they're not. They are. Just like you said, Bob, yeah, that does look like a beach. By the way that it comes out and turns, there's no sharp edges. It's more, I say, sort of whimsical, more flowy kind of deal. And as you see, the paint is heavier, so you can actually see a texture. Do you see that texture in that blue right here? Since the paint's heavier, it sometimes leaves a stronger texture of the paint. Yep. Where the spin art, it's more drastic. It's sharp. There's no rhythm. It's just all over the place. That's why I started doing some of these, and I kind of think they're fun. They're about the same mess, no matter what you look at it. Sometimes the pouring, you can have more like run over kind of waste is what I'll call it. But you could put a bunch of paint on the frame and spin it and still have the same amount of waste. And this one actually allows better for the edging. If you look at the edges, it pretty much matches the painting. Do you see that? So it's more fluid that way. But if you look at my turtle paintings, I can do edges too. So I mean, one or the other, I kind of like them both. As far as a favorite, I'd have to say the spin art, because it's more my theme. It's more sporadic. I don't control it. Where the pour painting, I'm constantly shifting like this, so I'm manipulating the paint. Or if I use a hair dryer and I manipulate the paint that way, I'm actually manipulating the paint. I'm making the paint do what I want it to do. When I spin it, I got no control. And I kind of like the aspect of that compared to the aspect of me making it look a certain way. Like it's the difference between it happening and magic, you know. You can make something happen, but it doesn't magically just happen. Did you watch The Mandalorian? No, I didn't watch The Mandalorian, Bob. I haven't been a big Star Wars fan. Gosh, I probably shouldn't say that because a lot of people love them. Any other questions? Let's see. Did Trent have a question? Yeah. Oh, the biggest painting. Oh, to get back to the biggest painting, it was a 2 foot by 2 foot split painting. So I had a 12-inch by 2 foot and a 12-inch by 2 foot, and I did a video on it. So you can go back and find that video. And then I did I think the 3000 painting was a 16 by 20 canvas. But technically, I can do any size. I mean, I built the pen that actually spins the painting. And when it comes to something that's bigger than my thing that I made, I just attach it to wood, then I attach the wood to the frames, and then I spin it. This when it gets nicer outside, I'm going to try to do some big ones. You're going to see me do, I don't know, I want to do a 4 foot by 4 foot. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but that's my plan. And I want to do it just to do it. I mean, you've seen on YouTube these people, there's one I saw, there was probably a 3 foot by 4 foot, and they had this bicycle chain, and they're spinning it here, but they had holes in the top of the painting where the canvas went. I'm like, well, you got holes in the canvas. I mean, who's going to want a painting with holes where they attached it to whatever they attached it to? I mean, that kind of takes it out of the ballpark of me wanting it. I mean, why would you want a big canvas with holes in it? But I want to do a big one. You know, like I said, at least 3 by 3, 4 by 4. Yeah. Ooh. You know, Trent, that's probably going to have to happen. I'm just going to say that. Hey, Cha-Cha Boom, M6834, how are we doing today? You missed the reveal, but I'll show you. And plus, you can go back and watch it, too. The 5 spin arts that I did this week, or the past 2 days, was the Ninja Turtles. There's Raphael. Shredder. Oh, he's upside down, isn't he? Shredder. Leonardo. Michelangelo. And Donatello's still back there. And Donatello. So that my five shorts were the Ninja Turtles. The bad part is it. Do I have any Ninja Turtle collection? Nope. I don't. I love the Ninja Turtles. I do know some people who do collect them, and they are a huge collector piece. A lot of people do collect them. So as far as the painting, what I'll do with it, I'll probably sell it or do something like that, or maybe do a giveaway for, you know, somebody who has something like that. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I still have a lot of other paintings that I have to decide what I'm going to do. I just don't know. I don't know yet. Do you have any questions for me, Chaboom? I appreciate it. I do. We do take a lot of time, and, you know, it does take a lot of time to do everything and set everything up and spin, but it's kind of like a relief. Some people have, you know, they're running and all that kind of stuff, and it's kind of like my release. If you have stress, put it on the canvas, spin a canvas, just you put your stress into it, and you can see it in your art. I mean, you'll be able to see everything that you do. You can say, oh, I was happy when I did that, or oh, I was sad. It really does translate into the art. Did you like the Demon Slayer stuff? Demon Slayer, I will say, is my number one. That's my number one collection. Ugh, I buy so much Demon Slayer stuff, it's ridiculous. My wife would love it if I didn't. But as far as my collection, like you can see back there, they're a little shiny, but I got Naruto and My Hero Academia, and I got my sodas, and which are all anime. I do have some that are not anime, and some fairy tale back there. And if you go into another room, they got a bunch of other My Hero. I mean, they seem to overtake your life. If you guys see much of Pop House, he's got a lot more than I do. They do. They just massively grow quickly. Hey, do you got a Nezuko one? A Nezuko painting? Shira was a good one. See you later, Chaboom. Thanks for coming. And like I said, you can turn around and watch the live too. We talk a little bit more about paintings and things like that too. You know, the only Demon Slayer paintings I've done, Animal, are the ones that are in my display case. I do have some more Tanjiro's stuff like that, and actually no, I take that back. Blue has a Hashira painting. I did a painting with Hashiras too. Um, I haven't done many of just like the Nezukos, but I want to do. I'd like to do one of each, and like my pops have them signed. I just haven't gotten that far yet because it's going to take up a lot of room if you do, you know, like 11 by 13, and you got Nezuko, Zenny, Tanjiro. You end up having to have a wall the size of Walmart to hang everything up on. Yes, I do. I do have to do one for you. I did see that sticker, and I just seen you last weekend, and we forgot to get it. Or Super Bowl, whatever day the Super Bowl was. I seen you. I love My Hero Academia too. As far as the rankings of my favorites, first is going to be Demon Slayer, probably followed by Bleach, then Black Clover, then My Hero Academia. And I like Fairy Tale, but there's so many, you know. And then of course I like the One Pieces. They're okay. It's just there's so many. It's hard to get involved with it because you gotta have like 17 years of time to watch them all. But the seems like the newer ones I like better. Besides Bleach, Bleach was my first one of my first ones I watched. Besides, well, actually, my first one I watched would have been uh, Avatar: The Last Airbender. That's what actually got me into anime. And I also watched Yu-Gi-Oh, the old Yu-Gi-Oh, not like the Yu-Gi-Oh GX and those ones like that, just like the old Yu-Gi-Oh. Those what actually started me on mine. Fairy Tale is good, yes. It's just there's a lot of them. There's a lot to watch. What's your favorite area? What's your favorite anime? Yep, it's time to duel. Yep. You know, they had the little wrist things that they popped out and they played on. I think that was in the second season, wasn't it? You know, I love Dragon Ball Z too. I just, you know, a lot of people, like when you talk to people, like, well, what was your first anime? Oh, it's Dragon Ball. It's Dragon Ball. I didn't know what Dragon Ball was till actually Animal. You know, I heard it, and I've heard, you know, who Goku was. But then Am was like, "Oh, just watch it." I watched it. It's awesome. That's true. Yeah, that's the hardest part is just finding the amount of time you can just sit down and watch it. You know, and some of them now they just, yeah. Well, I just rewatched Black Clover, so I can't say I don't rewatch them. Um, but you just it's just hard to find the time to just sit down and okay, leave me alone. I'm watching anime. That usually doesn't fly with the kids. You got the Magic Magician, or was it the Magic Magician? I think that's what his name. Then you had the Magic Magician Girl, and then who were some other ones you used? You used that elf guy. I can't remember his name. Shira. Shira was good. That's the one that who was her companion? She had He-Man had the tiger, but who was Shira's? Or Battle Cat? Battle Cat was He-Man. Did she have a panther? I can't remember. Do you remember what she had, Bob? I just remember the little magician. I can't remember his name. I just remember what he looked like. He was in He-Man. I remember him. He was pretty fun. Did she have a horse? I think it was a unicorn. Yeah, I think it's a horse or unicorn. I can't remember. But I watched the Transformers, when I was a kid, and I watched a little bit of the Power Rangers. I hate to admit it, but I did. Uh, but I never really got into it. I don't know. I didn't watch them, and I just went out to different things. And then as I got older, my oldest is 20. Well, he'll be 21 this year. He's like, "Oh, Dad, you gotta watch this anime stuff," and he was like, "Yeah, it's anime. What's that?" And you watch it, and I was like, "Wow, that's pretty cool." And it's kind of takes you back to your childhood, but they're a little more. I know some of these new ones he had me watch. I don't know. Chainsaw Man is a new popular one that's out there. Eh, I mean, it's full of action and lots of blood and gore, and some guy's head becomes a chainsaw. I get it. It's just not my cup of tea. Just like the Cyberpunks was another one he had me watching. This newer style of anime. Me personally, I like protagonists. I like them to always win, and in the end, it's beautiful. It could be a spoiler alert. Cyberpunks, it's not that way at all. Plus, I like mine the mystical. They are a trend. They really are. I like mine kind of set back in the old days with swords and shields and that kind of era. Like Magi. Magi was another good one I like to watch. I watched that a couple times. Then there's the Magi, then Sinbad and the Seven Seas or something like that's another good one. It's just that type of anime I like. I don't know. This whole new genre. Yeah, the kids like it, but I don't know. I don't know about if I like it yet. Maybe it's got to get used to it. Well, Pokemon, yeah. See, and I never watched Pokemon. I knew who Pikachu and Ash were. Even to this day, I still don't know anything about Pokemon. My youngest son and I will open up cards, and do some videos on them sometimes, and I'm like, "Yep, that one's shiny." That's all I know. It's just like when I started watching Dragon Ball. Like one fight scene is like 7 weeks worth of episodes. It's great. I don't know what it is. It's more the showmanship. I don't know what it is, but like to watch, like when you watch a Demon Slayer battle scene, like at most it's 2 episodes or one full episode. Like it just begins at the end of one and then finishes. You go to Dragon Ball. Oh my God, that seems like Goku fights Frieza for 17 weeks until he wins. It's just awesome that way. I don't know what it is. And I think you got it right. I think it's just the yelling and powering up. But yeah, I just wanted to get on tonight and tell everybody, hi, see how everybody's doing. And like I said, in the future here, I want to do more lives, and I want to do spinning, actually where I'm spinning pieces, so you can actually see it happening, get basically in lifetime. My shorts, I said, are the closest. They are close to live, but I do mess up once in a while. Things happen, or you run out of paint. But for the most part, besides me just shifting the paint on the canvas, I show everything that I do. What's in the box, Bob? No, okay. But yeah, so I mean, I just wanted to come on and say hi, see everybody out there. You know, like I said, it's been a while since I did a live. Usually I do them with Animal. We'll do them on Sunday nights or something like that. If he doesn't have any NFL going on, we'll just all pop on and say hi and just talk about, you know, the state of everything and what's happening and kind of what we're doing and what's going on. But tonight I just want to do a little special one with the paints. You know, show a little bit more of the paint side. And this week, of course, I got more shorts coming out with more spinning. I also want to do. I forgot the name, but the girl on the box from Demon Slayer, Nezuko. Oh yeah, Nezuko. She's the one in the box. That's Tanjiro's sister. It would be. It would be. You're talking about that one? That girl? Yep, that one's Nezuko. She's the one who's in the box on Tanjiro's back. See, and there's the My Hero Academia and the Black Clover posters we hung up. Yeah, that's Nezuko. That's actually Animal's daughter's favorite character. And Animal got a sticker last week, Wednesday, I can't remember sure. And we're gonna make a piece of spin art for his daughter with it. Animal's pop house in here, pop house with Animal. But when I went to his house Sunday, we actually, it was good. We had good eats for the Super Bowl, and I forgot to grab it. I got our pops. I got the pops that Trent got me, and I got the pops that he got me. But we forgot about the sticker. So I gotta take another round to go see Animal so I can pick up that sticker for him. But that'll be my first Nezuko painting too, so that could be an adventure as well. But I do want to thank you guys all for coming today. I do appreciate you stopping in, saying hi, and I'm glad you got to see the paintings I've been working on all week here. Well, I guess it wasn't all week, but close to. And what I'll do is when I put them together, I don't know if I'll do it live or another short, or maybe I'll just do it in a video. I'll show you the final piece of the Ninja Turtles and see what you guys think. All right, guys, CCS says we're out of here. Thanks for stopping in, Trent, Animal, Bob. I appreciate all the questions. Love having you guys here, and I hope to see you more in the future on our shorts and our videos. See you later.